Hi there, this is Amanda Hill from the Social Media Cafe, and I'm going to show you what Angry Birds can teach us about social media, which is a little bit of an odd one, I believe. Not a game that I play a lot, but you never know. The problem with these games is you get a little bit hooked on them, and before you know it, an entire afternoon has been wasted playing with a game. Angry Birds is incredibly popular. It's on all sorts of phones. I've only played it on Chrome, but let me show you what I mean. So, for those who don't know what Angry Birds is, it's something to do with the birds losing their eggs because the pigs have eaten them, and the whole thing is to go and kill them. Delightful. So, these are the pigs, and these are the birds that are slightly upset with them. Now, I can't see on Chrome all of this from where I'm aiming, so I can only see a little bit of the picture, and it gets progressively harder with less things to throw at it and less ways of actually beating it. Now there's got to be a strategy. This particular one is very easy to get at, so I expect if I hit anything from here upwards, so that's quite a big target, I'm going to get something. And with social media you can aim at a big target and you're going to get something. So if I just pull this back and just aim randomly, then I've actually done what I expected to do. It didn't take rocket science for me to do that. And let's have a look at the next one. Now this is slightly more difficult. I have more ammunition, but I also have a greater target. And that's exactly the same thing, but on this one I'm going to need a strategy. I have less things to aim at. I also have things that are further away, so these are the harder targets to hit. Now there's several things that I can do here. I can aim at this one and try and rebound back. I can aim at this bit of wall over here and again try and bound back. What I've got to do is actually aim from here to hit over here. So let's just have a go and see what we can hit and what happens. So I aimed directly at the first one and it was absolutely spot on. It didn't, however, affect any of the rest. Now, if I do the same again, but I don't quite follow the same trajectory that's being shown and go a little bit further, you can see my path of where I've been. Now on that particular time I went over and above the rest of my targets, so it went way over their head. With some of your social media that's going to happen. So some of the posts that you're making are going to go way over the head of your target market. So what you need to try and do is keep it fairly low key, quite specific, but also to be able to bring in as many people as possible and try and get a rebound effect off that. Let's see if I can show you what I mean. So I now managed to hit both of those because I aimed at a different level. Now they're going a bit bonkers because I've just managed to clear it, and I am quite rubbish at this, so I will hold my hand up and apologise for that. I'll also apologise for the sound effects that are going to drive you bonkers if I don't manage to get them out. Right, now we're getting even harder here. I can't see at all any of what I'm aiming at. So let's go and see what I am aiming at. And this particular set are hiding down here. Now again, there are several different routes that I can take to get here. I can aim direct at them, straight over the top. I can aim here and have this roll down, or I can aim at this delightful thing and let it rebound back. But I also can't see that far ahead to see what is going to work without doing a little bit of test first. So let's just... Now I was incredibly lucky. That happened to hit one of the things I hoped it would, and by doing that it actually hit the target with one of the methods that I suggested, That's not going to happen every single time, but if you do know your target market as well as you should, actually it will make it a whole heap better. So let's have one more go. Now this is getting even more fun. This has got a solid structure, slightly less stable structure, and a glass structure across the outside. So I've got to find a point where I'm going to hit something to create a rebound effect to get in here. So I've got to get through the barriers to get to my target market. Now, sometimes it's going to take several different attacks at a similar place to do it. And occasionally, it'll happen purely by accident that you hit. This is an incredibly unstable structure, but different things could happen. Now, if I am at anything up here, these are very unstable anyway, and what I'm trying to get, again, is a rebound effect to take it all out in one go. By aiming here, at the bottom, these are actually shored up and it's much more difficult to get to where I want to be. This one here, if I can hit here, will actually shatter this and bring that all tumbling down. And again, if I am up here, that will shatter and bring that tumbling down here as well. And it looks fairly unstable anyway, so it's a different way of attacking it. Again, I can't see, once I've got back here, what I'm aiming at. So I have to have an impression in my head of where I'm going to aim and hope for the best. Now, it didn't quite go to plan, but it did actually have the ultimate goal of what it needed to do. And I wasn't aimed where I expected to be. But actually, in that particular instance, it made no odds whatsoever. Okay, this one, again, is much more difficult. They're both surrounded on different levels, and the weak spots are here. Now, for your target market, you're going to find weak spots, which is actually communication channels, what they want to talk about, what is interesting to them. So if you can get through these communication channels, actually, it's going to work for you. Now, I can't see either of those at all, but still managed to hit something, partly down to luck, and partly down to having a reasonably good eye of where I should have been aiming. Now, this one's going to be slightly more difficult, but by paving the way with something first, I've tested the water of where I'm going to go. Now, if I can just aim a little bit underneath that, oh, that was way off. What I actually want to do is go under, not over, but with everything, you can't always get it right. Now, no, that's going to go way over as well. See, even with the best person in the world, you can't get your balance spot on every time. Right, so in that instance, I hit where I needed to be. I absolutely hit the target, but something odd happened, and it failed. So I was in the right ballpark, with the right target, but for whatever reason, something around it stopped it happening. That can happen with yours as well. So you're not always going to be able to predict exactly what happens. Now this one, that one seems to be on a suicide mission anyway, so I don't actually have to do anything to stop that coming in. Actually, that's what's going to happen with your social media as well. You have to do absolutely nothing occasionally for somebody to come to you. And that was just one of those things, and that's exactly the same. So let's just have a go at this. Now, all of these are the key places that we can get into. If I aim at this lot, it's potentially going to disrupt this one as well. So it's looking at the relationship between other things that are around there. And I was actually just slightly off target and slightly underneath, but I still managed to get 1 from a knock-on effect. If I just take that a little bit higher, then I managed to hit what I wanted to do. So when they've finished celebrating and doing whatever they're going to do, think about social media in exactly the same way. You can't always predict what's going to happen. You know what you want to talk about because you're seeing from them what they want. Sometimes they're going to come to you anyway. But just think about things that are going to be useful to them, that are going to help them. Have a bit of fun. And you know what? If you'd have told me 6 months ago I would be talking to you about a game and how it can teach you how to use social media, I would have probably laughed at you. But then I've played another game, which many of you know, which is Empire Avenue, and that's sort of changed it a little bit for me. Now, before I get completely addicted to this, I'm going to disappear off and write my blog on it. I hope it's been helpful to you.